It's time for Everything Noob, your source for all things gaming.
Episode 64 of the Everything Noob podcast begins now. How's it going, everybody? I am Vortek, joined this evening by Dreadlow and Jemmy.
As always.
As always. How's it going, folks?
Good.
So,
It's good.
Lots of exciting stuff happening in the world of gaming. Lots of drama. There's a lot more drama in gaming than I thought there would be doing a gaming podcast. All right, is anyone else surprised?
There's always drama. No matter where you go, there's the drama llama.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I just thought it'd be a podcast about new games and upcoming things.
Chilling in the sauna.
And then you start to look for stories, and there's always just something awful going on.
Yeah.
And it just makes me laugh.
I love drama.
Drama's fun.
Drama on Twitter is the best.
Twitter drama. Well,
that's like my sole purpose for loving Twitter is I can backseat enjoy drama between two people as they try to suicide each other or what's the word?
Suicide.
Annihilate each other socially.
Oh yeah.
Through Twitter.
Yeah.
Well, you're a horrible person.
I know. I always feel just a twinge of guilt for enjoying it, but I don't get involved, so it's not like I'm trying to exacerbate the situation. I just enjoy the show.
Okay.
And they decided to make it a show by putting it on Twitter.
Yes. And people air out their dirty laundry on Twitter a lot, but oh man, I don't know even where to begin today. It's just a whole bunch of bad news. We are going to talk about some other things going on first, though. We have our drawing for Super Hexagon tonight, giving away a copy of that. And you can actually still enter to win. We're going to give it away at the end of the show. We're keeping the entry form open. We're going to try this time. If you haven't entered to win Super Hexagon yet, and you haven't signed up, you can go sign up on everythingnoob.com. Go to the latest show notes and enter to win in the drawing. And at the end of the show, we'll take everyone who entered and, do the drawing. So this is pretty much only for people who visit our live show, and we thank you for that. So this is for you. Thanks for coming.
It.
You have 1 extra hour.
Yes, you have a whole extra hour. So
to get that entry in.
Yeah, if you don't do it now, I don't know what to tell you.
You just don't like free stuff.
You don't like free stuff. So the other thing we're going to do is we're starting a new contest this week. And you guys can also enter this right now, but we're doing this way different. And this is going to be a pain in our ass, I think. I'm going to regret doing it this way, but we want to try it. We each have one game to give away between the three of us. Each of us has one game. What?
Uno.
I thought you said one of us. I'm like, no, I said three of us. I missed what you said, though. Don't worry about me. I'm just dumb.
The Last of Us?
No, we don't have The Last of Us.
No, I know. We don't have... No. Don't anybody get the wrong idea. None of them are The Last of Us.
None of them are as expensive as The Last of Us either. So... let's not put any false ideas in people's heads. We are not going to tell you what they are, though. That's the
grab bag.
That's one catch to this contest. We're not going to tell you what it is, but we each have one game to give away, and
it's not going to be Minesweeper.
No, that's already.
They're a little cooler than Minesweeper.
They're a lot cooler than Minesweeper.
If you want to win one of these games, you need to tweet about the show, and the two things you need to include in your tweet is our @handle, which is @e_NOOBS, @enoobs, and the hashtag NoobNationGiveaway. And if you're in live chat right now, and we'll include this link in the show notes too, you can click the thing I'm going to put in chat here, Twitter giveaway, and we wrote the tweet for you.
Yep.
So if you can't figure out the best way to write your tweet, you can click that link that is kind of broken in chat right now, and try. We kind of wrote the tweet for I'm using a different tweet a button service, and it's I don't like it.
Yep.
And you can't click that link. It's weird.
I guess Twitch doesn't like that link.
I guess not.
Maybe it bans Bitly it's not a Bitly, but tiny links.
Copy and paste that link in your bar.
I did.
I tested it, and it should work.
Oh yeah. In the address bar it'll work, but
yeah, in your address bar. Or go to our show notes and click the tweet a button link we'll have in there. And we wrote the tweet for you. My favorite gaming podcast, @eNoobs, is giving away games. And all I had to do was tweet with the hashtag NoobNationGiveaway to win. I think it says something like that. So you have a whole week to do that, and then we're going to take all the people who tweeted with that hashtag, all their names, throw them into the drawing, and we're going to give away 3 games next week.
Yeah.
So there you go. 3 mystery games.
So it's just something new that we thought we can
Who won it? That's
offer
mystery.
everybody.
Hashtag who won it.
No.
Another way to win.
You guys are going to confuse them.
I know, but I'm just thinking of the card game, Cards Against Humanity, like the whodunit card.
Oh.
Blank with blank in the blank.
Crazy stuff.
We were playing a lot of Cards Against Humanity for Tag Team Tuesday last week.
Oh, it was fun. There's
a highlight reel of all the fun you missed.
Yes, check out the
on our
YouTube channel. There's, oh my gosh, it's not something you can. I was looking at the screenshots we took. I was taking screenshots like crazy when like something came up that made me laugh. They're just not as funny out of context, like without anyone there.
No, it's a part of it's part of the interaction with the other players, especially when you're on voice. Hearing them laugh makes you laugh even harder.
And that's why I did the clip reel.
It's a great social game.
I took the time and master tracked that evening.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you can
I
check that
could
out.
have pulled a laugh track from it. We were laughing so hard.
You should find like a studio audience laugh track.
Yeah, with clapping.
Yeah. I have a few of those sound effects somewhere. They're completely corny.
Can we add those to the show? It's been a while since we had like sound effects dropped in the show.
If I do, you guys won't be able to hear them because we record the show differently now, which is kind of depressing.
That's true.
My favorite part was throwing you guys off with the sound effects, and I can't do it anymore. Oh well.
Yeah, it's okay. It'd give me reason to really make sure I listen to every show back.
Yeah, exactly. That would drive me nuts. I wouldn't want to go back and listen to something I already lived through. That's just me.
You have to, though. You're the one who edits the show.
Well, yeah, but I don't have to listen to the whole thing. Once I'm done editing it, which, it doesn't take an entire hour.
Yeah.
That would suck.
No.
But, okay, on to our depressing news story. Well, you know what? One of these isn't very depressing, I don't think. It depends on where it goes.
Let's start on a high note.
Let's start with this, because I'm kind of confused by it, and it's causing a lot of buzz right now. Someone actually showed me this story during a stream the other day, and I had to go digging because this is kind of getting out there. Steam is basically saying that they want to get rid of Greenlight. And if you don't know what that is, it's where people can vote on indie games, and if the indie game gets enough votes, then it gets published on the store, and people can buy it.
Wait, this is the positive news?
Yeah, because from what I've read in the article I'm going to link in the show notes, it looks like what they want to do is remove the green light barrier.
Right. So they're trying to make it so it's much easier for a developer to just publish their game on Steam without having to go through a voting process.
Well, yeah,
So
because
that
nobody
sounds
goes in
kinda
there and votes. Like, what's the incentive of going in there to vote?
Right.
It just is a big time sink, and you don't get anything from it. And a lot of times they don't give you good previews.
No, the previews usually, that falls on the developer, I suppose.
Well, yeah, that's the developer's fault, but it's like you can't tell what the game is sometimes from the preview because they don't make a commercial for it. Like, if the game comes onto Steam, this is the game, or this is where you can check it out outside of Steam, or anything like that. They just, a lot of times it's a compilation of meaningless screenshots and, a small blurb that doesn't tell you anything about the game.
Yeah, it's hard to say because their greenlight process, I first was really excited about it, and I would vote on games that I wanted to see in the store, and then I just noticed how many votes it would take to get that game on the store, and it's so many. I don't even know how many. I don't know the standard number. I'm sure that there's statistics about it somewhere, but it's this unreal amount. So if you're a new game developer and you're trying to get on Greenlight, you're wasting all this time and resource trying to promote that when you could be just promoting your website for the game in general, build the audience that way, and then Greenlight will be a snap. But if you're someone who just like throws it on Greenlight hoping it's going to get votes, that's not going to happen.
Well, plus the whole way of the voting, the way it reads is, would you like to play? Would you buy this game if it was available on Steam? And if you say yes, you would, or no, you wouldn't. They kind of like it should be like because there are people who won't buy a game, but I didn't even think it reads it like that. Am I saying that correctly?
Yeah, no, that's exactly what it says. If this game was available on Steam, would you be interested in buying it?
Yeah, or would you buy it? And I would say sometimes I'd say no, not because I don't like the game, because the game is really well developed. I think it's really good. But I say no because, it's not my type of game, but I think that the game is worthy of being on Steam. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I'd rather vote for a game because of its worthiness to be on Steam rather than whether or not I'm going to buy it.
Oh, so you're saying it should be like, do you feel like this game is marketable?
Yeah.
They should change the question. Yeah.
Because it forces me not to answer at all. Because then I don't want to say no, because then, I'll cast a negative vote against the game. So I don't vote at all. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I don't know, because I don't know anything about the developer side of Greenlight. But obviously any game developer, and there's been indie games that skip Greenlight, obviously. Is Greenlight a way to skip that initial development or developer fee to list your game in the Steam store? Or do they still have to pay that, and this is the barrier that if you don't have so many sales already, or you're not going to be anywhere else?
I'm not sure how if Steam gets a profit off of sales, or if they have to pay an upfront cost.
They do. They get a cut of everything. But there is a fee to list your game in Steam. I know that much.
Is
Greenlight the way to skip? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is that a way to skip that fee so you can sell your game, and then Steam takes the the fee out of sales, and then anything after that it goes to you and with their merchant fee, or is it?
I think it's just Steam was trying to avoid having a bunch of crap put on their.
Well, yeah, no, I know why it was implemented. They just didn't want anybody just to dump their indie game
like the Android
on Steam. Because it does cost them money to host these games and stuff. And any Joe Schmo could do it then. You didn't have to be a part of a company or of any kind. So I'm just wondering, how are they going to go about that? Are they going to just lower the fee and then you go in the indie section of their store? Or
I think that would be the best way. I know that asking. I like the point Dreadlow brought up, because I know that asking, would you buy this, is a stupid question. Because even if I say yes, I would buy this, it doesn't necessarily mean I will. What if it finally releases and I decide, oh well, I have enough games?
Maybe you should just ask, does this look fun?
Yeah, does this look fun? Or it's just. And then how much does a no vote hurt you? Because some people are really, really critical, and they're voting no left and right. And for all we know, that one no could count against you a lot worse than you would think. I don't know.
Right.
It takes so many yes votes to get past the Greenlight process that it's just
whatever
stupid.
happened to the star system. The star system is perfect. You got 5 stars. You give it how many stars you think it's worth. And then
usually that's with reviews. This is would you consider buying this sort of thing? You don't kind of just consider buying something. You feel like it's either worth money or not.
Right.
I've lost my train of thought. So that's what that is, and the question is valid. Would you consider buying this? But yeah, at the same time, I know games are good and they look marketable, even though they don't. I wouldn't consider buying them. I've had a few that I voted on like that before, but going back to what you said about how the no's hurt you, I can only imagine they do it in 2 ways. No's subtract from your yeses, or no's mean nothing at all. and except for like the total count of votes.
Yeah.
And like they either tally it and you need so many yeses or you need a certain percentage over blank amount of votes.
Here's the thing that this article mentions. There's no transparency with Greenlight. No one knows how the hell it works, and that's one of the biggest complaints about it. So
Yeah.
They could just be addressing all of this by saying, you know what, Greenlight was our bad. We're still going to try something to help out indie devs, but it's not going to be this. That's what I'm getting from the story.
It should be just Steam Indie Store and just make it a clusterfuck.
I kind of read it as like it was something that was meant to go away. It was something that was meant that was just to start out with, and it was meant to just fade away and eventually allow developers to make their games.
Well, yeah, wasn't Greenlight just a big test anyway?
I think so. Yeah, because that's the way you make it sound.
It's not working the way they want it to work. So I think they've admitted defeat, and it's big of them to be like, you know what, this isn't helping you, this isn't helping us, we're just gonna get rid of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it says our goal is to make, this is what Gabe Newell says, our goal is to make Greenlight go away, not because it's not useful, but because we're evolving. And with what they've been saying on this super secret meeting that they had, that's what they're claiming it. But all the things that they had to say is very positive.
Yeah.
So it's all good stuff. So I don't think they're
third-party Steam controllers.
Yeah, the company, like, there's all kinds of other stuff in this article that's really cool. They talk about third-party companies can make Steam controllers. They talk about how Greenlight will go away, of course. And they also said that Valve won't force SteamOS on exclusive titles, which is obviously the best way to go.
Right, except for those particular games that the developers want people to specifically play on TV.
Yeah, that's completely...
It'll be the developers,
sole decision and discretion.
Right. So
it'd be suicide to do that for the game as well as like Steam.
Oh yeah.
Because one or two games is not going to sell a Steam box.
No. Steam box.
Especially when you can have Steam just on your PC anyway.
I'm not surprised by that news. I'm glad they mentioned it, but I'm definitely not surprised because the whole reason behind Steam box was to make PC gaming more accessible.
Yeah.
That's what I gather when I see the Steam box and all the different ways it's being developed by different people and with different hardware. It's just an operating system and a computer specifically designed to play video games. Just like a console, except it's, a computer and there's different ways you can build it.
Right. It reminds me of another product. Like if they had done that, it would be like, we want everyone to have an Apple iPhone, AT&T network only, $500.
I know. It's like what the heck?
That's kind of like limiting your audience there, shoot in the foot.
Yeah, I still know a lot of people who got them just, they didn't care at all.
People went crazy about them, which is like remarkable, but it defies logic how well they did. But at the same time, you're like, who did not really think their strategy out? And kudos to Steve Jobs. He's a wonderful marketeer, but
I got my iPhone after it was available on Verizon, and I had the option to use Verizon, but I decided not to just because I had bad experiences with their customer service and stuff in the past. And aside from, drop calls, which will happen on any network no matter what you say, AT&T hasn't been that bad, and their customer service is top-notch.
I've had a good experience with Verizon. Well, not personally, but I was privy to a call. It was a fantastic customer service call with Verizon.
Well, that's good.
Like, this guy was on the ball and wanted to help. I mean, that could be just the individual,
he was about to lose his job, though. That's why. He was trying to save his skin.
Well, it didn't seem like he was going the extra mile to save his skin. Like, he genuinely just took pride in his job.
Yeah. Anyway, so Apple is a good example, though, of limiting your audience. It worked for them because at the time there weren't a whole lot of options for smartphones, but now there's plenty of options for game consoles, and you can't really mess with that.
Yeah.
You can't touch that formula. Also, speaking of smartphones, do you guys hear about Nintendo's numbers just plummeting to the ground?
By 18%, I believe.
Something
Ooh,
crazy.
yeah.
They lost. I don't know much about financial stuff, but they lost a whole bunch of money, and people are speculating if they're going to go to mobile platforms now. Maybe they're going to try putting Nintendo stuff on iPhone or Android, which don't get too excited because they're not.
They've come out and said, nope, we're not doing that. It's going to compete too much with the 3DS. We want to promote the 3DS, not mobile gaming on phones and tablets.
I've said it before, and I'll say it again. This 3DS I have here is like the coolest handheld system I've ever owned.
Oh, yeah, a lot of people will say that.
I was going to say the Wii U supposedly was forecast to sell 9 million copies of the game console, and so they produced 9 million copies and only sold like 2.5 million of them.
Oh.
And so that could have really done it for the directors and all the the investors to sit, and when they saw that and they said, oh no, so they all kind of backed out. So that's a possibility too, that it was because of those lack of sales in the Wii U. But the Wii U didn't have much outside when it came to third-party games. It was all Nintendo games, so it was kind of like it was a hard sell. People wanted to play Call of Duty,
It's funny you mentioned that because I actually had a theory when I read the story. I was trying to think why Nintendo would be doing poorly compared to everything else. I mean, they were first. They have the most exclusive titles, bar none. I mean, I'm talking AAA titles.
Yeah.
So many exclusive titles, which makes it worth your while because of that alone. And it still offers a lot of media things like Netflix and Hulu and things like that. And I'm thinking, why? Here's my theory. Say you have a kid who is, 8 years old. They're not old enough to be playing Grand Theft Auto or whatever. I remember when I was a kid, Nintendo was the most accessible thing. All the games were family friendly, and the only time that you heard about a violent game, it was on PC. All the violent games were on PC, and kids didn't care about PCs. Their parents or young adults would be playing the violent games on PC, and all they knew is they wanted a Nintendo. Well, now every one of these new consoles is a really beefed up PC made for playing these amazing games with awesome graphics and all kinds of violence usually.
Blood gushing!
Oh, so much blood, and look at the blood coming off the screen. That's how it's designed. That's why the graphics are so good, so you can see all that gushing blood. So Grand Theft Auto, for example, kids see their older brothers playing it, right? They're like, oh my god, Grand Theft Auto looks awesome, and they want it. And I feel like now that those types of consoles are more accessible, that's why Nintendo's kind of hurting, because parents don't know the difference between Mario Party and GTA 5. And so their kids like, I want Grand Theft Auto, and they don't. They're like, okay, he wants Grand Theft Auto, whatever, just get him to shut up. And they don't realize that your kid should be playing Mario because Nintendo is really targeted at kids. But now it's too accessible. And
there was no hype around the Wii U either.
Well, yeah, that too. They didn't hype it very much. And
do you know how many people have told me they thought the Wii U was an attachment for the Wii?
Oh my god.
Yeah. That was brought up. That was brought up in this interview.
No one knows it's an actual console, apparently.
Because this is the first time Nintendo carried over a name. They've never done that before in the history of all their consoles. There was the Nintendo gaming console, the Nintendo Entertainment System, and then there was the Super Nintendo Entertainment System. But they were different enough. Wii and Wii U is too much. It's too close. You added a letter, so it sounds like it isn't. That's
it sounds like a part of it.
I thought the Wii U was the handheld tablet when I first heard the announcement, and then I had to keep reading, and I'm like, oh, they're making a whole new console for this stupid tablet.
Yeah. That's what I thought. It was just the unit was able to work with your Wii.
Yeah, and all they really did was add the tablet and make it HD.
Yeah.
I still want one because they have a lot of games on it that look really fun, and like I was saying before, lots of exclusive titles. So I feel like I'm getting more for my money. I have a gaming PC for all these awesome games that are coming out. So I don't really need the Xbox One or the PS4, but the Wii U has a lot of games I want to play.
Yeah.
So I'd still buy one. I just haven't yet.
I'm a little disappointed though in Nintendo when they were like, no, we're not going to make any games for like tablets or phones. I understand they don't want to compete with the 3DS, so they shouldn't put games that would are coming out on the 3DS or could potentially come out. No competitors for those. But what's wrong with re-releasing like original Nintendo and Super Nintendo games?
Yes, that's what I was gonna say. I'd love to see
It would
classic
just be
games.
bank rolls for them.
Oh my gosh, I would buy a whole bunch of classic games for my phone. I know people who jailbreak their phones or do whatever, and that's what they do. They get emulators that work on their phone for classic games, and then the screen turns into like a handheld, like controller-looking game pad.
Yeah.
And it works, and people play classic Game Boy games on their phones. There's nothing wrong with that. You're not going to lose money because I could get I could get Pokemon X on the 3DS, or I can get Pokemon Red version on my cell phone. I think I'm going to skip Pokemon X because that's stupid. They can get both. They could pay $1 for the one on their phone and still have all the money left over to buy the new one if they want to play the new one.
They could probably charge $5 for Red and Blue.
Yeah,
and if they made it compatible, like to trade over the internet, like if they worked that in, people would show up in mass.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't cost them a whole lot development-wise to fix that.
Yeah.
No, it wouldn't. They could start out small like that too, old Game Boy games and stuff like that. So, I mean, they said they're not going to do that. I'm still okay with that decision because they've never gone away from their own equipment.
Yeah.
So good on them, but I think they need to. You know what I think Nintendo needs? I think they need something to get people excited about it again because they're starting to fall into this trend, it looks like. Well, I shouldn't say starting. They've been in this trend for a while where a new console comes out, and what do people expect? They expect a new Mario Kart. They expect a new Mario Party. They expect a new Super Smash Bros. And these new titles...
New Legend of Zelda.
Yes, plenty of Legend of Zelda games. These new titles come out, and they're, in ways better than the other one, but it's kind of like what you would expect. It's like, okay, well, the new Super Smash Bros. Has a few new characters and a few new maps. What about a new game with new characters? I mean, have you really exhausted all ideas for Nintendo characters at this point? I
don't think they could have exhausted all options for family friendly.
No, not at all.
I know one that would work really well, Luigi's Revenge. Yeah?
That's a rehash of a character. We're talking about something completely new. Get the Imagineers down at Nintendo, down in the powwow room, and let them come up with like a new adventure kind of game.
I would like to see them take, let's say, Halo for a second. Let's say they look at Halo and go, okay, how could we make a Nintendo first-person shooter with new characters and a new story? And do something like that. Like make it a paintball game, have some kind of goofy story about these kids, they're in a neighborhood and these bullies come in and you have paintball guns and you're always fighting them. Something like that, and make the characters really memorable and make it exciting. And then you could put these paintball characters in Super Smash Bros. You know what I mean? Like develop something new. Get me excited about your system again, because all I know is I'm going to get another Mario game and another Zelda game, and that's great, and I love those games a lot. But there's no, Donkey Kong.
It doesn't. Yeah, you're not gonna buy a whole new console just to get those, those
it's like
particular
you're
games.
buying a sequel to a console to get a sequel to a game, and that only works so much. The reason Xbox and PlayStation have been successful is because maybe they'll put their sequel to Halo on the next Xbox, but that doesn't mean Xbox is gonna only do Halo on the same stuff they've always done. They're also gonna be doing other crazy exclusive titles that make you want to buy an Xbox.
Yeah, new stuff.
And it's something that it's going to be something new. It's not going to be a spin-off. So that's what I think Nintendo needs, if you ask me. I think that would help them tremendously.
Master Chief at a go-kart. Halo Racing.
Halo Racing.
Thank you, Chad.
That's what would happen if Xbox did that. If they pulled that crap, it would be
Halo Tennis.
Halo Tennis. Yeah. It would be Master Chief stuck in like different types of sports games.
Well, they've already had Halo Golf, right?
What?
Don't you remember when somebody made you're able to take the Halo?
Oh, well, you can customize Halo and do stuff like that, funny stuff like that. But it wouldn't work. People would be like, "Oh, why are you getting the next Xbox? That other Halo game is just as good." I don't know. I don't want to step on the Xbox or PlayStation fans, because I've done it too. I've bought, oh man, the Halo 3 is coming out on Xbox 360. I got to get an Xbox 360. But Xbox 360 had so many exclusive titles that it was worth my while.
Yeah.
So Nintendo, there you go.
No.
Hire me.
Well, I just don't think Nintendo's made enough improvements in between their last couple of consoles, like for people to really feel the need to rush out, even when they find out the Wii U is a new console, because it's like, well, my Wii U runs and it runs great, and the Wii U is not that much of an improvement, and like, the controller's a little different. But at the same time, it's like, this one works and works great, and I can use my GameCube controllers on it.
Yeah.
So, like, the Smash Brother fans and stuff like that, there's tons of characters on there that you love. It's a really good game if you're really into Smash Brothers. There's no drive. Because we've reached that plateau for those games, I think. We've hit, like, the best it's going to be. So who cares about the next one?
I know a lot of people that would agree with you, because I think a few of my friends said they favored the GameCube Smash Brothers over the Wii version.
Oh, I favor the GameCube one too. I feel like that was the best one.
I don't get that, because if you play the new one with a GameCube controller, which is what I did because the Wii controller just didn't work well with it, you got to play online. You got to create your own little stages.
Oh, online was so laggy though. It was
yeah,
awful.
It wasn't good, but they tried, and it worked for me sometimes if I had a good internet connection. They took Super Smash Bros. And added to it. I don't know why people didn't like Brawl. That story they did, people were criticizing it. The story you can play through, and it wasn't that great. It was actually a really crappy story you can play through, but it was an addition, because there was never like a story mode in Super Smash Bros. It was a fighting game, and that was it. So they tried something new, and all of a sudden that just condemned the whole title. But I loved it. I thought it was awesome.
Just that it was a massive disappointment kind of a game, because they didn't really expand anything. It was a lot of the same moves, a lot of the exact same characters you had before. So it's like, well, why even bother? I feel like I paid all this money and I didn't really get a new game in any sense. If it had been like a lot of new moves, because Pikachu is pretty much the exact same thing, like the characters from the GameCube version to the Wii version, and they didn't add in like a lot of new combos or anything like that either.
Pikachu.
So it was pretty lazy.
They should come up with a dark.
It was Super Smash Brothers, the expansion.
I mean, I guess in terms of, when you say it like that, yeah, that's true. I still, I don't know. I still liked Brawl. I had a lot of fun playing.
Oh yeah, no, I loved that Snake was in it and stuff like that. Favorite Smash Brother character of all time, but I still think the GameCube version was better.
So what did you guys think of the last line of this article?
The Nintendo one?
It kind of doesn't. Yeah,
Quote it out for me, please.
It kind of doesn't fit anywhere in there. It just was thrown in there like it was weird. It says Iwata apologized to investors, but noted he will not be resigning, nor will he be making any major management changes in the near future. It was just kind of like an afterthought that was kind of thrown in there. It's interesting. It makes you wonder if the investors were asking for his retirement.
Well,
yeah, because essentially he lost them a lot of money. They probably put the screws on him. They're like, you need to either do something different
or retire.
Or we think maybe you would do better somewhere else in this company or with another company.
On the assembly line.
Well, probably not that far down, but they probably want somebody else in charge now, because this was, on paper and sales-wise, this is hugely disappointing.
They're going to build a lot more nets around Nintendo.
You know what?
Around the building.
You know what's not helping Nintendo's case? Going back to some previous shows, the whole YouTube thing where they're against people making videos, there's a whole culture in itself. People who watch and or create gaming commentaries. And they refuse to let it happen. And they just keep getting people's videos pulled. They make it almost impossible. Like, I guess people still stream it on Twitch, but I don't think you're supposed to. It's crazy to me that they're so closed off, that not only do they only use their own equipment, which I've always been like, okay, Nintendo equipment, whatever, but now you can only enjoy it with your family. You can't enjoy this in front of or with anyone else you don't know. It's like you need to be sitting in your living room with your family to enjoy this. And compared to all the other consoles are putting Twitch streaming integrated into their machines, while Nintendo is busy trying to slap everyone on the wrist who wants to stream their content.
Well, yeah, because everybody's being swarmed with these game videos for other games and consoles.
Yeah.
That could have helped them, too.
It's easy to forget.
It's not going to help because people are angry. People are going to be like, I'm not going to buy a Nintendo Wii U then. I was going to, and now I'm not because I can't stream
No,
it.
what I'm saying is it would have helped them if they would have allowed us to make videos and stuff, because then I would have went, oh, that's on the Wii U?
Oh, yeah.
Cool
okay, I'm
game.
sorry. I
You know what I mean?
misunderstood you. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're right. That
would have definitely I would have took second. I don't know what Wii U actually has. I don't know their list of games, but it would have been nice to be able to know.
I'm sure there's like 70 Mario titles.
It's kind of hard because they keep introducing like new Zelda, new this, new that, and it's hard to keep track of what Zelda games are on the Wii versus the Wii U and what Mario games are on the Wii versus the Wii U.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it like you said, it would help. It would help to know who has what, and it would help to see people streaming it and enjoying it. It's going to get me excited to play it if I'm watching someone else have a good time with it. That's why I started playing Binding of Isaac the other day, because I'm watching my friends stream it, and I'm like, I remember this looks fun. So then I went and started doing it myself.
Right. And that encourages me to buy certain games when I watch somebody streaming it or watch a video of it. I sit there and go, oh, I need that game, and I'll even buy it.
How many games I thought were so retarded on paper and just
and then you
screenshots.
watch it.
And then I have a particular streamer I really like, and I'll just show up and watch them. And of course, they're playing the game. I'm just like totally blew off. Like, that is the most retarded thing I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And then I gotta go.
It's like there's a game called Treasure Adventure World. I don't know if you guys ever heard of it. It's called Treasure Adventure World. Google it.
No, never heard of that one. Sounds dumb.
It's a side-scroll game, and you just see pictures of it. You go, oh, it's just another, this kind of game. I don't, really care about it. I watched a video today, and I thought, oh, my gosh, I got to have that game. It looks like it's a lot of fun. So it's things like that. Right now they have a demo available for free. You can download it and try it. It's a fun game.
It's true, though. I mean, that's the kind of thing that sells games, especially these days. The new generation is done watching television, and they want to watch their YouTube, and they want to watch their live streams, and they love video games. So why would you close yourself off from that? Like, the hell are you thinking? So I'd say that, and making something new and exciting for Nintendo and get people excited for this exclusive Nintendo title that we've never heard of before. Those two things right there, you're going to get a whole bunch of people back.
It's free marketing. Free marketing.
I haven't rushed to the store. I've had, there's been a few times where I've had money in my hands. I'm like, I have this extra money. I could go put this, towards a Wii U right now. I can go buy the system I want. And then I think, well, I just bought this game and I want to stream this game, not on the Wii U, but like some other game. I just bought that and I should really stream that because it's a lot of fun and it'll be fun to stream. And then I think, well, yeah, why would I buy a Nintendo? Because now I can't stream anything. I can't stream anything on the Nintendo, so I spent all this money on it, and then that's it. It just, it's very upsetting. I kind of went on a rambling tangent there, but you get the point.
Well, that's okay. You can do that.
You get the point. It's just they're very, very, they keep the doors closed. I don't know why. So
well.
This was
they
bound
need to
happen.
open them.
Yeah, they need
or
to
give us the key.
No one's asking Nintendo to make a market for indie games. No one's pressuring them in that sense, like all the other systems and developers and stuff like that. They just want their Nintendo system, and they want to not be told how to play it.
They're the Apple of the gaming.
Yeah,
and even Apple.
They need a Steve Jobs now to come in and make us want that closed garden.
Although Apple's really opening up. They've been opening up a lot lately. But yeah, they're the Apple of gaming, definitely.
Apple's opening up. Windows is closing down. Nintendo's always been closed. It's a changing world.
Well, Anyway, we should move on from Nintendo. I'm just sad now. I still want a Wii U, but man, I'd love to be able to make videos.
Should we spin the roulette wheel for which console to give bad news about now? Xbox One!
That's not what my wheel said.
Yeah.
Well, you were looking at the wrong wheel.
No, no.
You're on the wrong wheel.
Please try again later is what your wheel said.
Yeah. Do you want to tell us why your wheel said Xbox One?
Well, there's a big stink right now between Machinima and Microsoft. Well, not between them, but because of them. Because companies buy advertisements. This is the way the world works. That's how commercials are made. That's how money is made. That's why people watch the Super Bowl, besides the football.
Yeah, the advertisement.
So
I watch
Microsoft has partnered with Machinima for a promotion. No news there. But apparently, in the fine print of this promotion, people who do Xbox One videos are going to be paid extra money. They cannot give a negative review or say anything negative about Machinima or the Xbox One. So they are essentially paying for positive-only reviews.
Yeah.
Right.
For a promotional period.
So you're asking... So, because the story is... the promotion, the benefit for Machinima partners is that they get more money. If you're a partner of Machinima and you make videos on YouTube, you get more money, a lot more money, if you do... if you take advantage of this. So, if you play an Xbox One game... They want you to have at least 30 seconds of gameplay. Here's their list. This is in the contract itself, and this is a screenshot of the contract, and you guys can go see this on the show notes. You need to have at least 30 seconds of gameplay footage of any Xbox One game. Then you need to mention how you're playing an Xbox One, put a specific tag in it, and then follow other guidelines listed below, and bam, you are going to get an extra $3 per 1,000 views on that video. And that's for Machinima and being a partner on YouTube. That's a lot.
That's a huge amount of money.
Oh yeah, especially for popular YouTubers, that's a lot of money. But then you scroll down to see further that you need to follow these specific rules. You can't talk trash about the game. So if you're someone who has a channel all about reviewing games, all of a sudden you have to take all of your ethics and throw them out the window if you want to take advantage of this deal, because you're not allowed to talk trash about the game. It could be the worst game you've ever played. You have to like it. Otherwise,
but
you
it's
don't
only
get that.
we need to make it clear. It's only if you want to be a part of this promotion and get that special promotional pay.
Correct.
You are still allowed, as a Machinima partner, to make negative reviews about the Xbox One all up and down. You're just not going to get this promotion pay.
Yeah.
And this is all supposed to be a big secret, too. Like, we're not supposed to know this.
Oh, yeah, you're not allowed to talk about it. That's another thing. In the fine print, you're not allowed to talk about it.
Here's the thing.
But, of course, now everyone's talking about it.
If anybody's heard of Boogie 2988.
No.
I don't know if you've heard of Boogie 2988. Anyway, he's Boogie. He's this kind of heavy guy, and he does a lot of vlogs and talks about gaming and things like that.
Wait. Is he the one who, like, over-exaggerates and goes crazy by the end?
He does Francis. Yeah, he's got the Francis character. He's really funny.
Yes, now I know who you're talking about. Sorry.
So he did a vlog, not as Francis, but as Boogie. So he did it as a normal vlog, and he talked about this. And I guess from what I understand, he is a YouTube partner. He's not with Machinima or anything else, so he could say whatever he wants, really. But he felt as though he might get a lot of hate for this. But when he started talking, he was talking about how Machinima's, getting paid from Microsoft and to do this. And then he turned around and he says, "But you know what? We all do it." He says, "It just happens to be Microsoft, and that's why it's a big thing. It happens to be the Xbox One. If it was something else, nobody would even know about it. It'd be just, whatever." I mean, our network that I'm a part of, has offers, and they have offers, and all I have to do is review a game, and I get a certain amount.
Oh no! But see,
of money for it, but it's the way Microsoft also did it. Is the way
it's the fine print on this.
Right.
That's
how
the
it has
deal.
to be positive. It can't be. Yeah.
They're buying good reviews, essentially.
Well, in actuality, the offers that I have part of the network I'm a part of, the offers give you a link and you put it in your description, and when you put the link in there, it's to download the game or to buy it. And so, in a way, you have to give a positive. If you want to sell the game and you want to make money off that link, you're going to want to give a positive. So in a sense, it's kind of the same idea.
But like you're only gonna if you have to put the link in there to sell the game, you do want to give a positive review, but like if it's truly so bad, you're just gonna skip over it.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Well, it's an offer you don't accept.
Because you're having to actually literally advertise it in your video. It's not like just going and trashing the video and then claiming extra money. You have to have a mini store link in there. So that forces integrity a little more, and it makes it more of an advertisement. But this is like all below the belt, all under the table, and that's why it's breaking a lot of rules with Federal Trade Commission Act, I think, because you can't do this. You can't buy positive reviews. That's a no-no. Because you have to disclose it. If it's a positive review and you received extra money or money for it or free product, you have to disclose that.
Now, I know how much you want to probably fight me on this, but if you remember a few episodes back, I mentioned GameStop and how they were promoting the Xbox One.
Well, go on. I don't want to get too far away from that, though. Go on.
Oh, okay. And they were promoting the Xbox One, and how when a customer would call up GameStop and talk about consoles, and they wanted to buy a PS4, how GameStop would actually push or pressure a customer into, and they suggest buying the Xbox One over the PS4, and they were very, strong about giving a positive review about the Xbox One to get more sales in the Xbox One. So this kind of like verifies it to me. It makes it sound like Microsoft is going around trying to get all these people to give positive reviews or positive feedback on their games. I mean, on their gaming console. So I don't know. And you want to fight me on it?
No, I don't want to fight you. I'm just saying. GameStop, before Microsoft One just like took a nosedive, took a lot of pre-orders. They ordered those units. Then everybody ran and pulled their pre-orders. So they have all these units coming in that they have no projection to be able to sell. So of course they're going to pressure people to swap over, or people who are just on the board don't know.
This was before the console was out yet. These were pre-orders.
That's what I'm saying. It's pre-orders. They already have ordered them, and they can't back out of that contract or that deal. So they have all these units that they don't know what they're going to do with. So of course they're going to pressure people who don't know or aren't decided, because they want to move units that will be there, because they don't want those on the shelf anyway.
I just think that this right here is an example. I don't know.
It's a good example that the Xbox isn't doing as well as maybe they would like the world to believe.
Yeah. But I mean, if they're doing this through networks on YouTube to try and get more sales on the Xbox One, then I don't know.
So going back to the machinima thing real quick. Here's what has been bothering me, not really bothering me. Here's what I've been thinking. I'm not really surprised, because machinima has a history of and this isn't something that's really a hidden fact about them. You're not, as a machinima partner, you're not allowed to talk bad about them, but I'm pretty sure any network is like that. They say, do not talk crap about our network. Do not talk about crap about other people in this network. Otherwise, we'll remove everything.
Oh yeah, and I've seen Machinima do it. If you talk crap about somebody else in the network, you're gone.
Exactly. So to me, this almost comes as no surprise that Microsoft would see that and go, maybe we can have the same rule for us. You're not allowed to talk crap about us because we're giving you money to tell people about our stuff, so you have to be nice. And Machinima was like, oh yeah, we do that for this. It might have just been some idiots sitting behind the table.
Marketing at Machinima?
Idiot marketing at Machinima. And I don't know. I'm not really a big fan of any network right now because of the way that some of them have been treating. I'm not going to name names of these networks, but some of them have been treating their partners like crap, and trying to claim ownership of things that isn't theirs to claim. And for all I know, I'm not a Machinima partner, but they could be one of them. I know of a few networks that have done that though, and it's this kind of practice lately doesn't come as a surprise. That's my point. It's but yeah, you're right. Because it's Microsoft, people are going to make a big fuss about it. But for me, it wouldn't matter. I'd want to make a stink about it if it was anything. If it was Sony, if it was Nintendo, if it was anyone saying you not only are we going to give you more money to talk about our games, but you have to be nice, or otherwise you won't get that money.
Oh, same for me. Like, I wouldn't care what company was asking for this. You're buying good reviews, and there's zero integrity there.
And why would Microsoft care what you think about specific games? It doesn't mean the whole system's bad. It means that game is bad.
Yeah. But it's also, this is the thing that Boogie was trying to make a point of, is they're all doing it with other things. A lot of these networks are doing it with other things. They pay you to give certain reviews for this particular thing or this game or whatever. So it's just that because it was Microsoft and it got out there, people are freaking out about it when they don't even realize that for years this has been going on.
No, I've known it because I get emails about this every now and then. I can earn extra money on certain types of videos or advertising things. Most of the ones I see are about conventions and like promoting them.
Yeah.
But
yeah, so I mean, I don't know. I think it's way blown out of proportion because whether people know it or not, and if they're surprised about it, yeah, it's been happening with a lot of things, not just with Microsoft Xbox One.
Yeah, no, you're right. So I would just, I don't know. I don't have advice for them. They're dumb. I have all this.
Here's my advice: if you don't genuinely like the Xbox One, have some integrity and don't do the positive review or positive video.
Yeah, exactly.
And you know what? Machinima opened the floodgates a long time ago to let a lot of people become partners. So there's going to be a lot of people who are still youngins, if you will. Not necessarily of young age, but like young to the world of making money on YouTube, who are going to take full advantage of this in hopes that they want to make a few extra bucks.
Sadly, though, like the promotion is only for like 1.2 million views on these promo videos. So like their top 5 will probably end up getting most of those views, if not all.
I see. Yeah, and it's confirmed that they did this. There's tweets from people in Machinima that were later deleted, but they have screenshots in the article. If you like drama, go check out our show notes and everythingnoob.com because there's a lot of drama there, and it's only going to get more juicy, it looks like. So
yes,
gross.
Get some of that orange drama juice.
Orange drama juice. Okay, do we want to give away this copy of Super Hexagon?
Yes.
How about we do it in like 3 more minutes? We'll give you guys 3 or 4 more minutes to go and enter that contest on the latest show notes of everythingnoob.com.
Everybody in chat better have an entry up in there.
If you're in chat and you haven't entered yet, you have a chance to win Super Hexagon right now. You can go enter that contest.
Get on.
So we'll give you just a few more minutes before we close the door on that.
Except our free stuff.
And yes. while you wait, we'll play the Jeopardy waiting song.
We will not. We can't afford that. Stop it. So
can we afford any music?
No.
Oh. So we have to just sit here and like quiet reflection of the entries we may or may not receive in the last 3 minutes.
Pretty much.
We take this time.
We can
to
talk
remember
about
the
one
entries
thing
that we've already gotten.
I want to
pray
mention
for
this.
future entries.
This will probably be 3 minutes anyway, but you know the game Rust, right?
Yeah.
Well, it was partially created by Gary of Gary's Mod. He's the one that made the game Rust. Well, they just looked at their sales, and they've made 55% of what they made in Gary's Mod over the last 9 years. In other words, they're at 55% of what they made for a whole 9 years of Gary's Mod's existence. The money they made in Gary's Mod, they made already 55% on Rust, and Rust isn't even out yet. It's still alpha. So it's doing
There's
very,
huge
very.
buzz about Rust, though. Like, every gaming podcast I listen to is just in love with Rust right now. And everybody's just like, Rust this, Rust that, Rust.
Yeah. So from what I understand, they're
And it's a
taking
good
out the
game.
zombies too.
Like,
They're gonna take out.
It's valid.
They're
Sorry.
gonna take out the zombies soon.
What's the point then?
Wait.
It's a survival game.
So, what are we surviving against
Yeah,
then?
there's nothing to
Each
survive
other.
against.
Each other.
Oh,
Yeah.
now see, that's like
Now I am
No, they
less
have
in love with
animals.
it.
No, they have animals and stuff. This game wasn't meant to be shoot 'em up, stuff. This is meant to be like you're a
They could
caveman.
tone down the zombies or less. Like, that's fine. But, like,
Well, they're gonna put other monsters. Obviously, they have bears and they have wolves in there now. It's gonna be a natural environment, and I guess they're gonna have. I'm not sure what they're gonna have, but hopefully they'll have some kind of a genetic defects or of some kind coming at you. But they're cutting out all that, and they want to make it so it's very primitive. That's the whole point of the game. That's what Rust was all about and mentioned. And the whole thing was the guns and stuff that they added in there were,
Can I just
they're
say,
just test things.
you've always said that, like, the guns are just test things, the guns are just test things. The reason, like, I have trouble accepting that is because you don't put out a game, call it alpha, call it beta, call it what you want. You don't put out a game with things like that are fully functioning and then take them away.
Yeah, but
You
that's
don't do
the whole.
that.
That's the whole thing on their website before it was put on Steam. On their website, in the development phase of this game, as they were developing it, they were discussing this and they explained how this is, going to develop.
Here's my, like, along the same line of thought Zan has. Why are you spending time testing something if you're not going to implement something along those lines?
Well,
Maybe not these specifically, but something similar.
Oh,
You are
they're gonna have
wasting time.
They're going to have guns, but they're not going to be the kind of guns that are in there now. They're not going to be modern guns. They're going to be primitive guns, like one shot. You have to keep loading the, one shot shotgun. And they'll have that in there, and these things aren't going to be very easy to have access to. So it's going to be a really cool survival game against other players. But I mean, just imagine being in a primitive environment where, you have to struggle to survive and make that awesome weapon so you can protect yourself against others. And I can see where it's going, and I see how good it's going to be.
I don't think it's going to get better by, like, limiting... Like, guns should be rare. I get that. But by making it a one-shot shotgun and stuff, I think you're just going to frustrate the player base more than you are going to enhance
Not if they
the
knew ahead of
experience.
time. Not if they knew ahead of time that that's how it was going to be.
Do you know how many people read those dev notes? Like 2% of the audience. I don't even read the Minecraft notes.
True.
No one cares.
Especially when it's on Steam, it's going to confuse people because people don't bother to go to the website.
Well, that's why Gary said not to buy the game.
Well, then why
You
put
put
it
it on
out?
Steam.
Why put
You
it
see
on
what I'm
Steam?
saying?
If you don't want people to buy it, you don't put it
wants
on
it on
Steam.
Steam for the multiplayer aspect of it. It's easier to integrate multiplayer and stuff using the Steam platform.
But put it, get your spot on Steam and then don't release it yet. Like, why do you release a game and then change everything about it that people
Oh,
know?
they had it on there for a couple months, and it was unavailable for people to buy.
Then just leave it that way.
It's just now. I mean, think about it. It's only
Because
$19.99, which is very cheap.
That's not fair to your alpha buyers because you're selling them a game that they're not going to get in the end.
Yeah, Minecraft only added to it like throughout its lifespan. It never like put in jetpacks
I mean, they're
and
taking
said,
away
"Oh, well, we don't like the jetpacks.
guns
They're not
and
staying."
zombies.
Those
they're
are
making
just
it a different game.
Those are just test backpacks that you can fly around in, but
Well,
eventually they're just
no,
going to hold
they're
items.
they're gonna have basically everything they have in it now. But what I mean by that is like, people are able to craft an M16 with just scrap metal and have it within minutes. And that's kind of unfair.
Well, you can change the crafting recipe, but you don't change.
Well, that's
the
what they're
whole
doing.
thing.
They've introduced. The latest patch introduced forging.
Okay, well, we got to wrap up. I wish we could talk more about it. I really do, but we got to wrap up. And we're going to give this game away, and the winner, I swear to God, I'm not picking favorites here. This is just how this lined up, but it's Gem's sister.
Oh.
What? No way.
Yeah.
Get out of town.
I
Why
can't
did
tell
she
her
put
not.
her name in?
Well, she didn't. Yeah, she calls herself Gem's sister, and then, like, I don't know what the hell to call her. So, anyway, it's not that she's not allowed to enter.
Oh, she'll play the crap out of that game. Watch.
She'll enjoy it, I'm sure. So there you go, Gem's sister. You win Super Hexagon. We'll get that sent to you. And I want to thank everyone for listening. Remember, tweet out our show. Make sure you just use the at @E_NOBS and Noob Nation giveaway hashtag, and say something about our show, and you'll be entered in the drawing to win 3 games next week. Well, you'll win 1 out of 3 games. So there you go. Thank you guys for listening to the Everything Noob podcast. I am Vortek, signing us out. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to the Everything Noob podcast. Be sure to visit everythingnoob.com for previous episodes, show notes, host bios, and blogs. And while you're there, feel free to write us with any questions, comments, or suggestions you may have. Don't forget to check out the links to our Twitter, YouTube, and Twitch TV channel as well. On behalf of the Noobs, see you next week, and happy gaming.